on the mutant side will activate next. This may decide the game, because if it's that mutant hound, I don't like that settler's chances of living. Welcome back, and today we are continuing along with Fallout Wasteland Warfare's tutorial scenarios, and today we're doing Fort Davis. Before we get into that though, make sure that you're liked and subscribed, because I don't know when I'm making more of these, and you don't want to miss out. And of course, if you like any of the terrain you see in today's video, check out our web store or our Patreon. It'll be on one of those two, where you can download and print it out for yourself. And of course, big shout out to Good Games Maitland. If you live in the Hunter or Newcastle region, go check him out for all of your WarGaming supplies. Without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to Fort Davis, where we have laid out all of our objective markers that we're going to be searching. So the survivors have set up over here with 1 dogmeat, 1 Sole Survivor Day 1, and 2 settlers. Sole Survivor Day 1 has got a 10mm pistol. Our settlers have both kitted out with assault rifles, and dogmeat has good old trusted dog bark, as well as a healthy amount of glare. And of course, look who else has showed up. It's some super mutants. We got 3 super mutants kitted out with a board and a hunting rifle. They look particularly choppy and they're ready to rip and tear. And of course, they also bought some doggos of their own. Got 2 mutant hounds kitted out with dog bark, and of course, plenty of glare as well. And they will be using the AI cards to determine what they do. Looks like they have set up in a group of 2 and a group of 3. We'll find out who is where in a moment. So with the battle line drawn, the objectives set, and the forces ready to rumble, let's get started. So to start with, we need to find out where the super mutants actually set up. So starting over here, we have number 1, that's this hound. He's going to set up right there. We also have number 7, so that would be this super mutant. He's going to set up over there. We also have a number 5, so that's this super mutant. He's going to set up right there. We have a number 3, so that is this dog. He's going to set up there. And finally, number 9. Couldn't find the 9 disc, so the blank one is 9. Cool. Super mutants start with advantage, so let's mix up their number counters and see who goes first. Okay, so the first mutant off the stack will be number 1. So number 1 is this mutant hound over here, so let's roll the blue die and see what he does first. Nuka-Cola bottle is on full health, so he's going to go straight in for the attack. So he's just going to move a red instead, straight towards this breach. Then for his second action for the battle round...
Editing Jono here. So we made a slight boo-boo. I've just checked the booklet, and you're supposed to roll the AI chart once per activation, not once per action. My bad. Unfortunately, for the rest of the game, we're doing it for each action, not each activation, but for future games, we will try to keep this in mind.
He's got a bottle and a star, which either way, it's attack in melee, so he's just going to bolt straight forward into the middle of the battlefield. Alright, so, first mutant hound has he's smelt them with his very large nostrils, and he's going straight to sink his teeth into some homies. Over on the settler's side, they've decided to also start with their dog, so dogmeat's going to get started, and he is going to just bolt forward straight through this forest, straight up into the battlefield. Since he's up there now, he's going to have a look at any markers that are within black distance and in line of sight. So he's going to have a look at this one. What have we got here? That's an item. So we'll put an item on it. What is this one? That's also an item. That's a number, so that's nothing. And this one, also nothing. Alright, back around on the super mutant side. Let's see who we've got next. Number 7. So that'll be this super mutant. Let's see what he does. Star. So he's going on the offensive, and single star, he's going for melee. So he's just going to make a simple move straight up the board. And for his second action, Mushroom Cloud, going for a ranged attack. Now, unfortunately for him, he does not actually have line of sight to anyone, so he's going to move to attempt to achieve line of sight. He's going to come through the breach here. Being as he's moved into base contact with this objective, he's going to flip it up, and it's nothing. Back over on the settlers. Going to ready this settler next and activate, and that settler is going to just move forward through the forest and is heading straight for that objective. And what will they find? Nothing. They found absolutely nothing. Back over on the super mutant side of the table, got a number 3. So it looks like this mutant hound is going next. Let's see what he does. Nuka-Cola bottle, he's going in for the attack. So he's going to run straight through here, heading for Dogmeat to sink his teeth into his neck. Next action. He's now going for an objective. He's changed his mind and decided he'd prefer an objective. This objective is slightly closer, so he's going to move into this one, flip it up. Oh no, danger, but he gets an item. So let's draw from the danger deck and see what we get. Doubts. Oh, if there are fewer friendly models within red than enemy models, test charisma. Well, there's actually no one within red of him at all, so there are not fewer friendly than enemy because both values are 0, so that will have no effect. So do not need to test charisma, which is probably a good thing because he's got a charisma of 2. Turns out mutant hounds that go bark bark are not charismatic. As for his item, he's picked up a pipe pistol. He can't use the pipe pistol, but the dog now has a gun. Back over on the side, and they are going to head straight for the breach. Settler is set up on the other side of the breach. Next super mutant will be number 5. Let's see how they're going to behave. They're going on the attack with a ranged weapon. They do have one. It is short range black, long range blue. Is anything in range? Yes! Looks like the trusted Dogmeat is in range. So the super mutant is going to take a shot at Dogmeat. Using long range on the hunting rifles, that's 2 green. Let's see what we get. And that's a hit with an armor break. Ooh, this is not good. Dogmeat's got 2 damage coming through and his armor is reduced by 1. So Dogmeat has a physical damage resistance of 2, which will be reduced to 1. So can he roll a 1 and shrug some of this damage? That's a 2. That's higher than his armor value because it's reduced by 1 due to the armor break. So Dogmeat takes 2 damage. And what will our super mutant's second action be? Nuka-Cola bottle, he's going for an objective. Closest objective is over here, so he's just going to make a move straight in there. Back over to the settlers, Nora readies up, and she can hear Dogmeat whimpering, so she's gonna leg it straight towards him. Nora gets to the breach of the wall of Fort Davies, sees that Dogmeat is a little, but overall he's okay. Then the last super mutant, who is number 9, will ready up and activate. So let's see what he does. Double Nuka-Cola bottle. So he's attempting to go for an objective, and if it's an objective where he can shoot, he would want to shoot rather than close combat, but as those are not the objectives, he's just going to move in towards this objective marker. And for action 2, Nuka-Cola bottle and star. So he could either attack in melee or go for the objective, so he's going to go for the objective. He has successfully moved onto the objective marker. He's going to have a look at it. What do we got here? A search. He's used all his actions, so he can't search it this time, but next round he can. So at the end of battle round 1, super mutants have moved forward, checked some objective, they found 1 pipe pistol, so they are ahead on points at this time. Settlers have moved through the forest and have breached their way into Fort Davies. There's plenty of objective markers very close to them, so I'm expecting some big scores from the survivors this round. Round 2. Super mutants still outnumber the survivors, so they start with advantage. So, looks like super mutant number 7 is going first. So that's this boy over here. Let's see what actions he's going to take. Nuka-Cola bottle, he's going for an objective. So this objective is closer than that one, so he's actually going to move back through the breach. Let's calm down a bit now. End up here on the objective. Let's see what we got. It's an item. Ooh, let's see what item he's drawing from the wasteland. Mutant Hound Meat. Is that cannibalism? I suppose he's not the actual hound, so it's fine. Looks like it's a bit of a rough time for the survivors at the moment, but let's see what the super mutant's second action is. He is going on the attack with a ranged weapon. So he is in range of the dog, and he's got a clean shot straight through there between the barrels. Does not pass over, so there will be no -2 penalties. So, 2 green for the hunting rifle. That's a 10. He was testing against a perception of 4. Even with the -1, that's not enough. So, the settler's ready up. So we're going to ready up dog meat. Knows that we're hunting for some gubbins. So he's going to head out this way to this objective that'd be harder for the other settlers to get to quickly. We're going to see what we get. It's a danger, but it's an item. So let's resolve the danger card. Rigged to blow. Test lockpick. Success, no effect. At the end of the model's activation, resolve damage with blast centered on this token for an orange of 2 physical damage. Oh no, Dogmeat tripped a trap while going through those boxes. Now, unfortunately, Dogmeat does not have a lockpicking skill, so he can't actually do that test. So we're just going to have to resolve 2 damage within orange. So we place the orange with the Vault Boy icon over the center of the model, and anyone within orange gets hit. So just Dogmeat gets hit for 2 physical damage. Let's see if his armor can save him. That's a total fail on his armor, so he's going to cop another 2 damage. And of course, he also gets to draw an item. Let's see what item he gets. Dogmeat got a nail board. And then, for his second activation, he's going to go for another move out over this way, moving up to here. On the super mutant side of things, let's see who's going next. Number 1. So that would be this mutant hound. Oh no, Dogmeat's right there, and that hound is looking hungry. Let's see what happens. Nuka-Cola bottle, he's going on the attack. So for the hound would normally get to charge blue, but because he's going straight over an obstacle, it'll get downgraded from blue to green for his charge, which is still more than enough to get him into base contact with the dog. And he's particularly hungry, so he's going to take a black chit as his charge bonus. Now, is he actually going to bite the dog that he's just charged into? Probably. Nuka-Cola bottle, he's going in for a melee attack. So using his charge bonus die of black, he gets 2 black, a yellow, and a blue. Let's see what damage he does to the dog. Ooh, that's very hurty. So that's 3 extra damage on the black die. 1 armor break, and a 2, that's well and truly a success. So that's 2 physical damage, plus those 3, that's 5. And with the 1 armor break, there is no way Dogmeat can actually survive this. But let's see if the armor break hadn't come up, if he would survive it. Roll the 1, he bumps 1 damage, takes another 4. That means Dogmeat is deceased. Bark! That nail board will be picked up by the mutant hound. Survivors will next ready this settler, who will move forward over to the far side of the objective there, checking it. What do we got? Oh no! This is a disaster. It's danger. Let's see, draw the danger card and see what we get. Radiation burst. Test endurance. If successful, 1 radiation damage. If unsuccessful, 2 radiation damage. So the settlers have an endurance of 4, so we need a 4 or less to reduce the amount of radiation damage we're taking. That's a 7, so that settler is taking 2 radiation. 2 radiation and not even an item. This raiding run is not going well for the settlers. This is going to be a risky move, but the settler needs it. Kind of need this to be some food, otherwise we're in a lot of trouble. So for the settler's second action, they are going to go forth to here, hide behind the barrel, and see what that item is. Come on, right away would be great. Okay, we got a search, and if it's successful, we get an item. So we're testing against the settler's perception of 6. Let's see what we get. That's a success. Okay, the settler gets an item, but is it the item that they need? Pipe wrench. Well, at least now she has a melee weapon, that's handy. Super mutants are now ahead 3 items to the survivor's 1 item. Let's see. mutant activates next. Number 5. This boy over here is going to activate, and let's see what he does. Double Coca-Cola bottle. So he's going for an objective. So he's going to just move straight over here. But for his second action, will he do a search action on it? Coca-Cola bottle, that's an objective. So now he's got a search against perception of 4. If he fails to find anything, he takes a danger. That's success. He gets an item without taking a danger card. He gets a sledgehammer. Oh no, that is the worst possible thing for him to have picked up. Next up is this settler who's going to open fire with their assault rifle on this super mutant. Unfortunately, given that it's at long range, all they will get is a single black die for this shot, and because going base center to base center, it goes over this piece of terrain, it's at a -2 penalty. So, normally testing against a perception of 6, this will be against a perception of 4 because of the -2. That's a success with an extra damage. That's exactly what the survivors need at this stage. Now, super mutants, quite tough, but not very well armored, so only an armor rating of 1 physical. Let's see if he can shrug any damage. 2, no damage, 2 from the assault rifle, plus the 1 from the black die, leaving that super mutant with only 3 hit points left. Given the lack of objectives nearby, that settler is going to take another shot and provide some covering fire to try to put down that super mutant. Again, 1 black die, testing for a perception of 4. That is unfortunately a fail. If that had gone through, that could have killed. Okay, next up we have number 3. So this mutant hound just here will be attacking next. Or, going for an objective. Let's see what they're gonna do. Coca-Cola bottle, they're going in for a melee attack. So the charge will be decreased to a green, which I believe is still in range. Yep. He is successfully charged straight in there. He will be taking black damage dice as his charge bonus. Now let's see if he actually attacks. Double Coca-Cola. That's an attack with a melee weapon. He's going to spend that black charge dice to use 2 black, a blue, and a yellow. Let's see if he can kill off that settler. Ooh, that's not good for the settler at all. That's a success. 2 bonus damage for a total of 4 damage. No armor break, but the settler's armor is only 1, so it's impossible for them to survive this. They take 4 damage, and unfortunately, that means that settler is deceased, and the hound will collect the pipe wrench. Final activation for the settlers will be the sole survivor, who just saw her best bud murdered by a mutant hound right in front of us. So she is going to load up the 10mm pistol and start blasting. Black-green, testing against a perception of 5. Let's see if we can knock off that super mutant hound. That's unfortunately a fail with a double damage, with a 2 bonus damage. That would have been good if it had gone through. Second action, gonna also shoot again with the pistol, still testing against a perception of 5. That's a 7 with a -1, so that's a 6, so that's unfortunately missed again. A mutant activates. He's going in for an attack with a weapon. Fortunately, he does not have line of sight to anyone, so he's just gonna have to move. Goes up there. Second action, what will he do? Coca-Cola bottle. So he's going for an objective. This objective over this way is a bit closer, so he's heading over here. And at the end of round 2, the super mutants are well and truly in the lead, having collected 4 items, with the settlers having collected none now, and lost their dog and a settler. It is not looking good for the settlers. Looks like it truly is a day of mutant supremacy. Okay, start of round 4. Mutants start with advantage still, as they still outnumber the settlers. So, first one, what do we got? 3. Which means this super mutant here will be activating. This is not good for the settlers. Let's see what he does. Nuka-Cola bottle. So he's going in for the attack. Gets to charge a massive blue. So he will be charging the settler as they are slightly closer. He will take a black charge bonus die, which he will spend immediately. 2 black and a yellow and a blue, testing against a strength value of 6. Let's see if we can kill off this settler. That's a 7, but that -1, oh, that is not good for the settler at all. That means that the settler will take 2 damage, because that armor break will smash the armor right out of the way. Next up, Soul Survivor Day 1 will ready and activate and is going to start taking shots at this super mutant. See if she can down the super mutant before he charges in. Okay, black and green testing against a perception of 5. Let's see if this can go about as well as last round. That is unfortunately a fail. Not looking good. She is really not the marksman. Let's use a second action, see if we can get a shot off on the super mutant. That's a 9. Even with the -2, that's a fail. Go back over to the super mutants. Super mutant number 5. This boy right here will activate next. Let's see what he does. That's a Nuka-Cola bottle. He's going for an objective. Gets around to there. See what his second action is. Star. Ooh, he's going on the melee attack. Okay, so he could charge up to red, but he would not actually make it to combat. That's unfortunate. So he will just move a yellow instead. This settler will then ready up, and given that even with the -2 penalty for shooting in combat, the perception will still be higher than using the interim weapon, we're going to go with shooting the assault rifle in close combat, see how we go. Short range, black and green. -2 because shooting in close combat, normally testing against perception of 6, so it'll be down to 4. Let's see if we can hit this mutant hound. 7, so it'll be down to 5. Unfortunately, that is still more than 4, so that's a fail. Finally, that is a critical hit. Unfortunately, doesn't have that, so crit doesn't matter. But there's an extra damage, so the mutant hound will be is staring down the barrel of 3 damage. Let's see if its physical damage of 1 can shrug any of it. That's a 2. He takes all 3 physical damage. Okay, that's all of the settlers resolved, so let's go through and see what the mutants do. Who's next? Number 9. So that's this boy here now. Let's see what he does. Ooh, Mushroom Cloud, so he's going for a range. Now, Nora is a little bit closer, so he's going to shoot at Nora. So let's see how this goes, testing against a perception of 4. That's a 5, so that is unfortunately nothing. So for the super mutant second action, he will double Nuka-Cola going for an objective. So he's just going to go in here, check this one. Oh, computer skill. He doesn't have a computer skill. So I guess he won't be doing anything there. Alright, no more settlers to resolve, so let's go to the next super mutant. We're looking at mutant number 7. This boy over here, let's see what he's going to do. Double Nuka-Cola bottle, he's going in for an objective. Nearest objective would be over here, so he's going to move through this breach and just head straight over here. Second action will be objective again. So he'll make it to this objective. He'll check it. Oh, it's a lockpick. And unfortunately, super mutants cannot pick locks. So he will not be able to get through that one. Then, finally, number 1, mutant hound over here will activate. The star is going in for the attack. Going over terrain, so we'll be downgraded to a yellow. He'll end up about there. Second action will be a star again. He's going in for the attack, so he's going to make the charge this time. Effortlessly makes the charge into this settler. Unfortunately, he is now spent for the round, but he will get a black bonus charge die. And that is the end of round 3. It is really looking very poor for the settlers. They are trapped at the breach. 2 hounds in combat with 1 settler. The super mutants themselves have 5 items to the settlers' none. The only way the settlers can bring this back is to kill the super mutant hounds and take their stuff without dying. Good luck to you. Beginning of round 4, super mutants start with advantage. Let's see who goes first. That's number 7. That'd be this boy over here. So, let's see what he does. Nuka-Cola Bottle is going for an objective. He already knows he can't do this objective, but he can see these 2, so let's see what they are. That's an item, so he might go for that one. And what's this? Nothing. So, he's going to make his standard yellow move, heading this way. For his second action, double Nuka-Cola Bottle. So, objective again. So he's going to end up over here on the objective marker. Oh, it's a lockpick test and he can't pick locks. This is... It's fine for the super mutants. They're so far ahead, the survivors are pretty well stuffed at this point. But he is now spent. Now, on to the settlers. If either of these dogs activate before the settler does, that settler is dead. So, settler gonna activate first. And is going to open fire with the assault rifle. For a black and a green, -2 because in combat, and then it will be randomized to see who it hits, because he's in combat with 2 targets. -2, so down to perception of 4. Let's see if we can hit this wounded dog and possibly survive this. That's a 7. With a -2, unfortunately that's not enough. That'd be a 5. You needed a 4 or less. Let's use the second action, see what we can do. That's a hit with a bonus damage. Mutant Hound has a physical armor of 1. If this red armor dice comes up anything other than a 1, that Mutant Hound is dead. Actually, it's dead either way because it's only got 5 hit points. That's a 2. Mutant Hound is dead. Mutant Hounds are only 1 item ahead now. This is getting intense. Who, on the mutant side, will activate next? This may decide the game, because if it's that Mutant Hound, I don't like that settler's chances of living. Number 1. That's not good. That is the Mutant Hound. Ooh, he just saw his buddy get killed. He's pissed. So he's got a black bonus charge die that he's going to use in this combat. This is not looking good for the settler at all. Let's see what we can do. Testing against the strength of 6. I almost don't believe it. The Super Mutant Hound rolled a 10 and failed the attack. So 1 less black die now. Second action. Does it manage to kill the settler? This is what the game comes down to. That's an 8, even with a -1. That's a fail. Oof. The Super Mutant Hound, he jumps around, barks a lot, but does no damage. Okay, the settlers are back in this. They have a chance now. They just need to kill that Super Mutant Hound, grab his item, and they're good. Nora will ready. Sole Survivor Day 1, gonna shoot this Super Mutant, and that, if she can do it in the first shot, she can then go in and take his sledgehammer, and the settlers might be able to pull off a victory, depending on what this guy does. That's a hit with an armor break and bonus 2 damage. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Super Mutant's got an armor value of 1. Let's see if he shakes any of this. 4. No, he takes 4 damage. Unfortunately, given the 3 he's already taken, that means he is now deceased. And we'll drop his item right where he was. We'll leave that marker just to mark it. And then, for Nora's second action, she will move over and she will pick up that item, putting the settlers ahead by 1 item, but they have now expended all of their actions for this game. All that's left now is Super Mutants. So because Mutant Hound died, and he died, there's only 1 Super Mutant left to activate. So, gonna ready him up. Let's see what he does. If he manages to kill Nora, or the settler over there, then he would win the game. Coke bottle and star, so we can either go on the attack in melee, or go for an objective. Well, his objective at the moment is basically melee, so he's going to charge Sole Survivor Day 1 and see if he can kill her and take her weapon. He's going to get a black bonus die. He's going in with a board for 1 black die. His black bonus charge die. Sole Survivor Day 1 only has 6 hit points, so depending on what these black die come up with, this could kill her and he'd take her weapon, take the sledgehammer from her, winning the game for the super mutants. Let's see what happens. Only 1 roll at this. That's a hit, but with no extra damage. That's not going to be enough to kill her for the super mutant, but let's see if she can shrug. Physical armor of 3. Let's see what happens. And she shrugs 1 damage, taking 1 damage. So that's all of the super mutants at the end of round 4, and all the settlers have now done their final actions of the game. So, looks like the settlers have got 3 items, and the super mutants came out with only 2 at the end. That was very intense for a moment there. Well, that was intense. It was looking very bad for the settlers towards the end there, but they managed to just pull it off. That was looking like it was game over for the settlers for quite some time there, but they pulled it off in the end, managing to kill off a super mutant and a super mutant hound, taking their items and winning the game for Team Humanity. And of course, if you want any of the terrain that was on this particular table, the walls are currently on our Patreon, depending on how long after this comes out you're watching it, or if they're not on our Patreon, they will be on our web store, link in the down there part. And Newcastle or Maitland area, make sure that you check out Good Games Maitland. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because I don't know when I'm putting out any more of this, so you need to be notified if you don't want to miss anything. And we'll see you next time.